welcome to another episode of Zero If I Could. My name is Raul Zambrano.
I'm Brittany Hersbrand.
I'm Jake Disharoon.
And with us is our guest today, Kaitlin Kilgallon. Were you about to intro yourself, Kaitlin?
Well, what?
You really think we're that rude that we would just sit there in silence for 20 seconds like, Kaitlin?
We'll start over. That was not good.
This whole episode is just going to be us starting over an intro.
It's too late. We're in now.
Yeah, it's done. Sorry, Kaitlin.
I'm not going to redo it.
No,
absolutely not.
This is mortifying. I told you guys I was having so much anxiety about this.
This is the legacy that you are going to leave.
Everyone will remember you for this intro.
But they won't know your name, so that's fine. I feel like I had a question that I was going to ask, and I think it was going to lead to like some really good discussion.
Oh, man. I can't believe we lost that.
Gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start over now.
No. But maybe, Jake, why don't you talk about that new fun thing that you're doing this month, watching a movie a day? That's fun.
God. That just sounds so fucking corny when you say that. Like, prompting me. You're fun. You got your little hobby that you do. It's
details, if that sounds corny.
Cute little thing. So I've decided, I've made a solemn vow to myself to watch 365 movies this year. And to start, I'm watching a movie for every letter of the alphabet, just to be cute. So I just finished H, and who knows what's next?
What letter comes after H? I, probably.
I mean, who knows?
I'll have to look it up.
That's a Google. But I think it's maybe L? I don't know.
That sounds right. Yeah. That feels correct. Yeah.
Once you get through all of the letters of the alphabet, do you know the next little cute pattern that you're going to do?
I think then he'll go to numbers or maybe like symbols. I think that's what's after.
Oh, symbols.
Yeah.
I mean,
do a movie that starts with asterisk or something.
Like batteries not included. See, I had one right off the fucking dome. That fast. Are you kidding me?
I like how we're setting goals for ourselves in quarantine, but they're really just depression goals. Like I was like, I'm going to watch one movie every day for Halloween, and it's going to be scary, and I'm going to accomplish something. And you're going to watch 365 movies in a year, which is really fucking bad, actually. So
cool, in my opinion.
That's a good use of your time.
Yeah, I'm going to gain 30 pounds this year.
I don't even watch anything of substance. I just like doom scroll all day, you know?
Yeah, I think it would be a great goal for you, Kaitlin. I think
you think her watching a movie every day is more productive than what she's doing now?
Yeah.
So when I do it, it's like, oh, that's so sad, Jake. I can't believe that you would lower yourself to just watching a movie every day. But you're like, Kaitlin, you should really get your shit together.
I'm so proud of you. Yes, honestly.
What does your day consist of, Kaitlin? Walk me through it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So I wake up normally, well, it varies, around noon, when I kind of flop around, you know, and I really resist getting out of bed.
Like physically flop around?
Yeah, just kind of flopping about.
Okay.
For
how long?
3 hours.
Yeah, your flop around time is 3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So
you kind of flop out.
I know we're only through literally the first thing, but I need clarification. So you wake up at noon, your eyes burst open, and you're like, I'm not getting out of bed. Today is the day where I finally stay in bed 24 straight hours. And you try to just...
That's my goal, but normally my body doesn't allow it. And then normally I'll kind of get up and throw the clothes on that are on the floor closest to me. And then I'll drive through McDonald's and get a mocha frappe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you get the stamp card yet, Kaitlin?
I still haven't gotten the stamp card.
Oh my God. Okay.
I will. And then normally I go thrifting. And that's about all I do every day.
That's pretty productive, actually. That's more than I do a lot of days.
Getting out of the house.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the weather's been so gorgeous lately.
Yeah, I mean, I
I
don't
can
leave the house
see
most
behind
days.
you. It's so nice.
Yeah, wow.
In heaven, everything is
And
fun.
and you live on an airship, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I will just say that her sleep schedule is so erratic. She didn't know if she could make this 6 p.m. podcast. And that was in all honesty. She was like, I cannot fully commit.
I just didn't want to let you guys down.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect that a lot. If I did not have like a job or anything, if I like won the lottery, let's say, and I could just do whatever, my sleep schedule would be insane. I would sleep from like 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and I'd probably take a nap around 7 p.m.
There
to
you go.
10.
You're still only giving yourself an 8-hour sleep window, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Like, dream bigger,
then-
right?
And then take a 3-hour nap in
Okay.
the afternoon / nighttime from 7 p.m. to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty grumpy if I don't get like a solid 12 hours.
Yeah. When
That
I was on
Not good.
when I was on unemployment for 2 years, I did have your dream sleep schedule, Jake. I would go to sleep at like 7 a.m. and I would wake up around like 3 or 4 p.m. and it feels really gross, actually.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
I mean,
If
the
I-
way that I know that would be my dream sleep schedule is because I've done that before when I
Oh.
was like 22. And it feels very bad. Every time I wake up in the early afternoon, it's like, ugh. And you get like 3 hours of daylight in
Yeah.
your day. It's immediately
When you
night.
wake up, the day is already ending, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
should I go to bed again? I don't know.
If I
Yeah,
won the
exactly.
lottery, I think I would pay someone to like inject me with a lot of stuff that would make me like a better person, you know?
Like, okay.
Well, like, what?
What do you imagine
Okay,
that
yeah,
is?
yeah. So they inject you with this thing. What habits would you start building that you're like, okay, it's working?
So you know what? I just like played it out in my head, and I think the exact situation that I had was like a Michael Jackson thing. So I take it back, like where they injected him to fall asleep at a normal time, and then
I don't think that's gonna make you a better person, to be honest.
it's like they give me an injection,
it
I
worked for
fall
him.
asleep at like 9 p.m., and then they give me something to wake me up at a normal hour, and I'm like ready to go. But yeah, and then he died. So I quickly realized that was not the route that I wanted to go.
That's true. I mean, he did have some other problems while he was alive too. But yeah, you're right. He did die. I've heard that
Sustainable.
It's not
I've heard
sustainable.
that
Be a good person.
Mark Wahlberg wakes up at like 2:30 a.m. Like,
To work
that's-
out or what?
Well, to work and to pray, of course. He released a
He
daily
just prays to
schedule.
the city of Boston. Like, that's what I feel like he does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
He's
sure he
just like,
faces
in his
these.
Go Red Sox. Amen. And that's it.
But yeah, he blocked out his entire day, and it starts at he started at 2:30. It's like several hours of working out. He eats breakfast at like 6, which is that's such a long time from your waking up. After he worked out and he already prayed twice by the time he has breakfast. That's really something.
I didn't
you
know
know
he was like
Tim-
that religious.
Goes to bed.
I mean, it's like 7 p.m. or something insane.
Oh, it's kind of like the opposite sleep schedule. Like we would wake up closer to 7, and then
Yeah.
What?
It's the perfect inversion of what I would do.
Did you guys make any New Year's resolutions?
I mostly just have everything that I usually, think about every year. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, lose weight and, be more productive generally. And I don't know, it's just some bullshit. But
I think you did lose weight, and you have been productive. You're always making your t-shirts, and you're like dieting all the time. And
I mean, yeah, but I mean, well, the idea is to get results with it.
I
you
feel
know,
like you're skinnier.
I think it's just
Well.
like an extra step of taking it seriously. That it's like I already feel exhausted from it, and it's like I really have to do more than that. It's like that's always an insane concept to me, And so
Mhm.
that's where I'm like, yeah, I have to commit to taking it to like another level, and it's like Jesus Christ, people do this. That's insane, and so that's annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I
What
didn't.
about you?
I didn't have any New Year's resolutions at all because I normally don't do them. But maybe I should stop eating dinner at 1 a.m.
Okay, that's never gonna happen. unrealistic goals for yourself.
The only reason I even care that I eat dinner at 1 a.m. is because a lot of times when you guys want to do a Netflix party, we do them at 12:30 a.m. and I'm still making dinner, so I can't make it to our Netflix party. So
when did this habit of eating at that time like start?
well, because I'm working from home now, so I can be more into what is my normal biological sleep schedule, which is like not falling asleep until 4 a.m. So that's just how I've always been. And so I don't eat my first meal until like 5 p.m. And then I'm not hungry enough to eat it
Really?
like
That's crazy. God.
8 or 9.
So 5 p.m. is your breakfast.
Yeah, but I eat a club sandwich, so it's my brunch, I guess.
And you eat the same thing every day.
I do basically eat the same thing every day. Unless I'm too lazy to cook, then I'll like go through a drive-through or something. But I really don't get tired. I like literally look forward to everything that I eat every day.
You got this life thing figured out, man.
Mm-hmm. Jake, yours was the movie.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was like I didn't make a resolution.
Your number one priority because you're sticking to it.
That was just something I thought I would do. I don't know if I would call it a resolution. I wasn't like, I'm going to make this promise to myself. It was just...
And to God. Don't forget God.
Yeah. It's just like a cute little thing I could do. And I could tell people about, and they'll say, hey, seen any good movies lately? And I'll be like, oh boy, have I.
Don't you think you're going to be like... Because I thought it was 30 days. And then right now you said 365. And I was like, oh shit. So like, I feel like you would be at a party and be like, yeah, I had this goal where I watched a movie every day for 365 days. And people would be like concerned or just like, oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, they're like, bro, just play some video games. What are you doing?
I mean, people might look down on it, but that, if anything, that just makes me stronger.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
It's a lot.
I'm on a higher level.
And can you double up if you miss a day?
Oh, yeah, I have been. I mean,
okay.
I do it at work, basically, because like Brittany, I work from home, and it's pretty easy for me to watch, I would say, 2 to 3 movies a day while I'm working. So that's how I do it. That's how I squeeze it in.
Hopefully your employer is not listening.
They don't mind. I'm sure they're cool with it.
Kaitlin, what are your New Year resolutions?
Well, I had this one to stop going to McDonald's every day to get a mocha frappe, but
so far not going great. Okay.
Like every day. But then I retroactively came up with one to read 2 books a month, but I don't know how that's
I don't think that's
maybe really short ones. Like the one I'm reading right now is I think like 90 pages. It's like this big. So
okay.
There's one.
How far into it are you?
Page 7.
It's January 10th. So you have that and another book to go.
That's pretty good.
That's almost a page a day. I mean,
yeah,
could be worse.
I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's all any of us can do. Should we do some reviews?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Speaking of when I watched a horror movie for every day of October. And Jake, don't do what I did and like make it so you're like down to the wire and you have to watch like 5 a day because that fucking sucks. And yours could pile up and be like the last day you might need to watch 20.
Yeah. I'll have to watch 15 a day for the entire month of December if I don't keep the pace.
I honestly started to hate it. Like I didn't want to do it anymore. But I was like, I have to. I don't know why. It was weird.
Yeah. No.
But okay. So this is a review for a scary movie, which I didn't watch during the 31 days, but just inspired by it. But it's Ichi. Yes. Ichi the Killer. So it says, all right, the opening scenes were awesome. When you first see Kakihara and he is blowing his cigarette smoke out of the hole in his cheeks, that was hardcore. Unfortunately, that was the absolute highlight of this film. I should clarify before continuing that I love Japanese cinema and that violence is no problem for me. However, the violence in this movie is unrealistic, unsatisfying, and unnecessary. Victims' bodies shred and break as though they were made of styrofoam. Bodies shoot arterial sprays by tens of gallons. Guts spill hundreds of feet of intestines. Obviously, Mike has a deep misunderstanding of anatomy. The plot, pacing, dialogue, and editing of this movie are even more mangled than Ichi's victims. I rarely had any understanding of what is going on or why. The characters were inexpressive, hollow cartoons. The cast of this movie left me longing for a Vin Diesel caliber performance. Not recommended unless you enjoy cinematic cerebral palsy.
Cinematic cerebral palsy. Oh,
That is.
Wait, so have you guys seen this movie?
I have not.
It's definitely not my favorite. What's this, Takeshi Miike, I think.
I'm not sure, but I remember.
I think you watched Audition, didn't you?
I've never seen Audition actually, but I heard that this one was grosser, and I think you told me like somebody slices off someone's nipple with a shard of glass, and I was like, cool, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some intense violence, but it is more like stylized, I guess, than like his other films. So I don't totally disagree with the review.
Yeah, but he's just trying to have a good time. That's fun.
It is a fun film.
I like how he's like
100 yards of human guts. I don't think anyone.
Like, how does he know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone involved in the process of making the movie was like, all right, we really got to nail the amount of guts, and then it wound up being too much. I think it was like, wouldn't it be awesome? This is the conversation they had. Would it be awesome if we had like 40 gallons of blood come out of this guy? That's awesome. That rocks. He's right. This reviewer is an idiot. Although it is cool when he blows smoke out of the hole in his cheek.
Well, he's right about that part.
Oh, I remember that part.
Yeah, I remember thinking the movie was fun, but I like how they were like, I couldn't understand a single thing that was going on because I feel like with Kaitlin and I a lot lately, we never know what's going on in a movie ever because I think our brains just don't work properly anymore. And I find that I still enjoy them just fine. Like it really doesn't impede anything for me. So
nice to get out, watch a film.
Yeah, like I don't need to know what's going on to know how I feel about something, you know.
Yeah. Quarantine has turned every movie into a David Lynch movie.
Truly, I truly, there's a lot of, I think it frustrates the fuck out of Raul actually when we watch Netflix parties.
What?
I was like, what just happened? And I think
like,
sometimes you think that like it's because I wasn't paying attention, and no, like,
I do think that's not the case.
She's dumb.
Sometimes,
yeah, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I was like, well, she's probably scrolling through a phone. She missed this one thing. Yeah, I'm sure that happens for sure.
Sometimes I'm genuinely paying attention the whole time, and I'm like, what in tarnation?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have that problem. I'm still fucking sharp.
Using
these movies. Yeah, quarantine has not helped because it's like, you know, just I've consumed so much TV and movies that is just everything gets a little boring now. You know?
Yeah,
like post TV.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it anymore.
And I'm sure that's also partly why, because at the beginning of quarantine, we all were doing a lot of Netflix partying. We had our schedule. We were like, you know, we're gonna watch some movies at this time. It was you know, we were doing it pretty often, that eventually it's like, well, you know what, maybe I'm sick of movies or something, you know.
Yeah, I still enjoy every time we do one, but like the process of us doing it is always like, I don't know.
I mean, maybe if you didn't do it at 12:30 at night every time, it would, you know, you would enjoy it more. I mean, it's just
the last 2 or 3. I can't keep track.
But she falls asleep like within the first 5 minutes of the movie even starting.
Yeah, and that was after you had 12 hours of sleep.
So hard to stay awake.
Sleep more, it makes you more tired.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah,
but if you fall asleep in the first 5 minutes of a movie, that's kind of on you. Like if you fall asleep 45 minutes in or whatever, okay, sometimes that catches you unaware, but 5 minutes in, you must have been falling asleep right at the beginning.
She always says, I'm not going to make it through the movie, guys, probably. And then it's like 2 minutes later that she stops responding to everything.
Yeah. Guys, I'm not going to make it through the opening credits this time. I just
You guys ever fallen asleep in a movie theater?
Yes, yeah.
I
I fell
definitely have, and you guys know that like I snore very loudly, and so it's very embarrassing when it happens
Did
to me.
you bring your CPAP machine to the movie
No,
theater?
not that time. But I mean,
It's too
a couple
bad.
times, like I might as well because at least it'll save me the embarrassment.
Yeah. I fell asleep during The Departed, and
What's
I
a
was
long game?
I was mad though because I wanted to watch it and I like it and it was good. I just was so tired, and so I fell asleep, and then I woke up at the end where like everything is revealed, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, God damn. So I don't even know if it'd be fun to go back and rewatch, but because I know what happens, and I spoiled it for myself.
Yeah, you really fucked up.
This one time, like I didn't fall asleep. Like usually when I fall asleep, I'll kind of wake up and just have an idea of what's going on, But this one time I just got super fucking high. Like I had like a couple of edibles and I watched Star Wars. I think it was it was The Force Awakens. And I watched it and I was so high that by the end of it I left the theater like not remembering a single thing. Like I was literally like, "Oh man, I can't wait to watch that movie." Because it felt like I just watched a trailer and I just could not remember what happened at all.
Yeah.
But falling asleep somehow is much better situation for me than if I'm just super high.
I really like watching movies with you when you're really high because you get very loudly expressive and like you will laugh out loud during movies and be like, ha, 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 like super, super loud. It's very like we saw
unreserved.
Trainwreck together, and there was like one thing that he just found super funny, and it was like he was laughing so hard. In the
And you were
theater.
humiliated to know him at that point.
It was like, I mean,
I was
thought it
enjoying myself. So.
yeah, but he was definitely laughing a lot harder and louder than.
It's a comedy,
Yeah, I said I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't really smoke weed anymore, but when I did, anytime I would watch movies, I feel like it was hard for me because like the facade of the acting kind of fell away, and I was just watching people on screen. I was just imagining like, oh man, there's like a lighting guy and a sound guy in the room. The director's 5 feet away from him, and I couldn't suspend my disbelief and fall into the magic of cinema anymore.
Yeah,
that happened to me with the Mad Max movie. Like I got super high watching the most recent Mad Max movie, and I just like could see every flaw. I'm like, I wouldn't do that or whatever. And then I rewatched it.
Flaws in that, like you would do it better.
100%. There's a lot. There actually are a lot of flaws with them. Not now remembering, but I rewatched it not high, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually really good."
Like, yeah, the dude on the guitar was so cool.
Oh, were you watching it like, I don't think I would have a flame-throwing electric guitar. That's not how I would conduct myself in the wasteland.
There was just a very obvious, like, there's a lot of weird overdub voiceover work that they did. They did some weird like fade outs, which made no sense. I don't know. There's just some issues that I clearly had while I was high noticing, and then later, like I couldn't enjoy it, And then later watching it, I'm like, oh, this is fun. This is great. But just for whatever reason.
Like the best action movie in 20 years.
The only
has its flaws.
The only things that'll like take me out of movies or shows sometimes is because I used to have the unrealistic ambition that I wanted to act, even though I don't think I'm very good at it. But like if somebody at a show or a movie is doing something, then I'm like, holy fuck, that would be so embarrassing to have to act out. Like if people are like having a seizure or something and they're like I'm like, I would be so...
Yeah. Sorry, one more time. Let's see it. I mean, I believe it. I think you would have made it, Brittany.
Yeah. I think a sex scene, Brittany?
You could have been a star.
What?
Do you think you could do a sex scene?
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Well, she's used to faking.
You got me. Yeah, that's an insult to the other people.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Raul, do you have a review?
I do have a review. This review is for La Vista Memorial Park. It's a cemetery.
Oh, spooky. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 3-star review. Says, came here for my niece's funeral today. It has a sort of a weird, sketchy vibe to it. Driving up the hill, I saw a lot of weeds and brown grass. The cemetery is old. We had our service held in Heritage Hall, which was sort of small But they did have a nice lounge area outside for the kids with couches and big pillows underneath the shade, which was all right. My niece is rested on the kids' side next to the big tree filled with toys. During the burial, I got pissed when they said my niece's name wrong. Her name is Leilani, not Liliana. Ugh. When a family is grieving and going through a hard time, saying the wrong name just tops it off. I will be to visit my niece often, so make sure my niece has a peaceful resting place, and I would like to see her headstone placed the way and exactly how the parents ordered it.
Yeah, fuck this guy, right? Is that what you wanted us to say?
No, I just like the idea of like.
I do think it's hilarious they mispronounced her name.
I feel like
Dead.
that happens often because, like, in my grandpa's eulogy, they like spelled a lot of the family members' names wrong and
Right.
stuff.
But that's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
right
that's just gonna
now,
happen.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's like if you mispronounced a name like at the service, like wouldn't that be pretty mortifying?
Literally mortifying. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if, because they were like, oh, the roads are so narrow and it was hard to like avoid a car coming towards you, like they're trying to like get more money by having you die at the cemetery.
Oh wow.
Very
The cemetery
complex con they got going.
Everyone who goes there gets killed by their dangerous roads. And then it's like, well, what are we gonna do? Take him to a different cemetery? No, we'll just bury him here.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
throw
I
them
mean,
in
yeah,
that.
they're already.
They
And
probably
then,
have like some pre-dug graves.
exactly. And then they have to have a funeral, so their friends and family come and they get killed. It's just like a never-ending cycle. It's perfect. It's the perfect crime.
Yeah, are there managers to talk to at these at like memorial place like
Well,
cemeteries that
not
you're like
at-
you'd want a refund for or something? You know.
I don't know how they all work, but realistic, like, but in all honesty, so whenever we go to Wisconsin, my sister and I visit my paternal grandmother's gravestone, and a lot of times that we have gone, like, because she's buried in a plot with like aunts and uncles and stuff, and her grave has been like, it's fallen over the stone, and we've like written about it several times, and like sometime, like one time we came back and it was fixed, but then another one had fallen over.
Just trying to get out.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
But
zombie
yeah,
family.
I don't know. I think it depends where you're buried, because there was just like a groundskeeper who like really has nothing to do with anything, and like I don't know. You gotta be buried by one of these corporate cemeteries, because then there's somebody you can write to.
Well, yeah, I mean, most cemeteries are run by creepy old gravediggers who are like stock characters in horror movies. So you can
That's true.
Or the Fishers from 6 Feet
complain to
Under.
that guy. He'll just look at you honestly.
But they don't have a cemetery in that show, do they? It's just a burial thing.
I
A
guess.
funeral home.
So how does that work then? Then they have the funeral at, yeah, I guess, and then I guess. And then
Yeah,
they
I mean, yeah, the
bury
funeral
them somewhere
home
else.
and the cemetery are two separate, things. And so yeah, so there is someone who owns that plot of cemetery, and so that's someone separate, I guess.
I have never been to a funeral that was at a separate place from where the person was being buried. So I guess
Really?
yeah. I've been to like a memorial service where the body wasn't there and they just had a memorial, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean sometimes they do a funeral in like a church, and then you have the pallbearers who carry the casket into the hearse, and the hearse takes the body to the cemetery where it gets lowered into the ground for their eternal rest.
You know so much about funerals, Jake.
Well, I have caused quite a few, so you would think.
Mostly dogs.
Do you guys
No.
want, oh my gosh. Do you guys want to be buried or cremated or what?
I don't
Give
know.
a shit. Just do whatever.
Well, because
I'd be fine with cremation.
Whatever, man.
Just
but like,
leave me in the street. I don't care.
what if what you do after affects how you're able to move on? So like, what if your body is supposed to decompose naturally into the earth and then you become part of the earth and then that's how you live forever? But what if you get buried and they embalm you and then that process is never able to happen, so you don't get a real afterlife? Or like, what if you get cremated and then that fucks something up too? So I don't think we're supposed to, I want to do like a Nate Fisher thing and be put in a bag and like thrown into like just decompose naturally, I think.
I'd like to be thrown into the ocean.
Well,
Like now.
Yeah, not even dead. Just it would be nice.
That's
if
how you wanna
someone
go.
was just-
I think you would have to.
guy in Portland who was like, he was on the news, and I think I told you guys this about how he was on Tinder and he had his dog like stuffed,
Mhm.
and he took the stuffed dog with him everywhere. I guess you
Yeah.
can be stuffed.
You want to be stuffed.
I don't think I do personally, but it's an option for people that I don't think they consider.
That would be cool. It could be like stuffed, but it like a cool little pose or something. You know, like I'm like, you know, I don't know, running or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flexing, looking
There you
like maybe look buffer than I was in real life. Yeah, just stuff a lot
Yeah.
into the biceps.
A lot of golf clubs, like, you know, on my biceps and my triceps or something. I do like the idea of like your consciousness being uploaded to like a server or something. That I would want to do. Otherwise, I don't care. But if that's an option, yes, let's do that. You know,
Yeah, I mean, I would try it out. You know, if there was a way
I
to.
don't know if you can just try it. I think it's like for eternity if you say yes. You know,
Did
See,
you watch
that's-
the full upload?
Yeah, I liked it.
Remember when he gets like cut off because he doesn't have enough money? Like, when they
Yeah.
have to be like poor in the upload universe.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I don't know. I don't know if I could commit to doing it if it was forever, and you don't know what it's like.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, so if somebody uploads your consciousness, that's not going to be you. That's like a copy of you, basically. If you get uploaded and then you die, you still die. You don't know what's happening with this other version of you. It's like
Then
basically like
Then what's the point?
great
the point
question.
is, you could, you know, because you're gonna have your memories, and then on top of that, you know, you're gonna live this other lifetime. You know, so one version of you, you know, could have a great time.
But if
You
my
know,
ego is not attached to it, then why I don't care.
Exactly.
I think you would be though. Isn't that the whole concept?
That's what I thought the point was for singularity, is to live forever in an actual like conscious way, sort of.
Yeah, but you'd have to like. I mean, I guess maybe you could do that. You have to like slowly replace parts of your brain piece by piece. If somebody
Well,
just
do it. Go do it.
Jake,
okay,
do it.
I'd love to.
I'm starting to get really anxious. I don't want to talk about this.
On to the next review.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jake, what's yours?
Jake, lift us up, Jake.
Okay. Yeah, this is for a cryogenic freezing lab to revive you. This review is for the Statue of Liberty.
Very scary.
Mhm.
My review.
Hated it. No updated facts about the designer and the engineer he worked with. Security is absolutely stupid. Be ready to strip down naked. We would ask a question regarding rules and get several different answers. The best part is the boat ride. My students loved that. And adults pushed by small children as if they didn't see them when we were in massive lines. The young guides working there cannot control the crowds. No, not worth it. So I'm reading that
Based on the caps.
as it is written with exclamation marks. So there is an exclamation mark.
My
There are
kids
multiple
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right.
After
They had a
There
good time.
2 exclamation marks after the sentence, the best part is the boat ride.
Have you guys been?
I've not known.
No, but I've seen pictures.
I mean, that's as much as it interests me. I could give a fuck about the Statue of Liberty, to be honest.
Can you go inside still? Do you know?
I haven't heard of people climbing up the Statue of Liberty, but I don't know.
I think
I
you
think
can
you
go
probably
inside.
walk up to the
I
top of her
wanna
torch.
say on the class trip I went on, we were just on like the island thing.
Ellis
you can
Island?
go inside. Yeah, that place.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like a giant waste of a day to have to like drive over to where you go to take the boat there to get like closer to a statue that you can already see from most everywhere, and then look at it and go, oh, a statue. Cool. And then it's probably really cold because you're on that little island and it's all windy because you're right on the water. It's just like, why? I don't know.
Would that statue give you anxiety, Brittany? Like the size of that thing? Or is
Yeah.
it okay.
Because when I had a layover on the way to Copenhagen, we had a layover in New York, and I was like, if I can see this from the plane, I'm gonna be really fucking scared. But
You can. You really can.
from whatever direction we flew into, it wasn't on like that side of the city. So
Okay.
yeah,
But you knew it would freak you out, but you were still like actively looking for it.
it's hard not to because I was like, I can't. I just like can't. Even like yesterday when I drove to the what did I do? Oh, the drive-in in IB. My sister wanted to go to get food after, and so we were driving by where you can see TJ, and I never remember where it is that you can see the Mexican flag, and that really scares me. And I still like look for it, even
because
though
of the Mexicans.
no,
Yeah.
it's just so big. Any
Mhm.
flag, it could be any flag, and it would scare me. It's
Yeah, it
so
could be
big.
Mexico. It could
It could
be
be-
Chile. It could be
Guatemala.
Argentina. Any of these flags would be
Any of the
terrifying.
frightening ones.
I just think it's really it's so huge and it's ominous, and anything that's very big and looms over a city really scares me.
It's so stupid.
I've never heard of. I've never heard of a friend as ominous. That's very interesting.
It feels like I don't know, something about it. Just it's not even logical. Like I really get like
We
inside.
better-
I start to
Yeah,
get.
we better hope to God that
Architectural structures.
It depends, because if they're kind of like in scale with the rest of the city, then that wouldn't really scare me. But if there was like really huge cruise ships will scare me sometimes because they're really big compared to everything else around them. And that's like the part that I think freaks me out.
Do you think like when you were a kid, maybe if someone hit you with like the Colossus of Rhodes or something, and that
scared the shit out of me. That's when it started. I told you guys this before when we had to do a report on the 7 ancient wonders of the world, and I looked up pictures and I saw the Colossus of Rhodes, and he was so big that he had 1 foot on one part of land and 1 foot on the other part of land, and I was like, that is not right. And I was really scared.
unnatural.
It was so I was
Colossus
like,
of Rhodes is canceled.
I would be terrified to go outside every day and see that. And the one of Zeus really scared me too, because all the little people were like this big compared to that statue. And I was like, what the fuck? So yeah. And then I was scared to do my report because I kept having to look it up. And then I probably just didn't do it.
Yeah, I do think like in the ancient world, seeing the Colossus of Rhodes would probably freak me out. It's not there anymore, unfortunately, but that one seems just wild. It's like,
are we sure it really existed?
I don't know. I assume so.
Okay.
I've never looked into it. Would it bring you comfort to find out that it was made up?
Maybe.
Like, yeah, that was actually just a myth. And you're like, oh,
Maybe
God.
that would cure me of everything.
Yeah, they're your phobias ever. You can
Yeah.
finally
Just
look
sleep
at the
easy
Mexican
tonight.
flag.
Well, I just got this book on Audible because I did a trial so I could listen to this one podcast that was an Audible exclusive, but I got The Body Keeps the Score. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
Oh, so this happens to me a lot. So it's kind of about how trauma manifests itself physically. So like there's a lot of times where I don't feel scared or nervous or sad, but then like I'll have a panic attack, or like like in acting class, I wasn't nervous at all, but then I just started having like a facial twitch, like your body holds on to like memories and things that you don't have any control over. And it's kind of about that. But I mean, I definitely don't have as much trauma as a lot of people do who have stuff like this, but like PTSD and stuff like that. So maybe I could use what I learned in this book to prevent my body from freaking out about this statue thing that I rationally know is not scary.
I guess try it out and get back to us.
Yeah. The audiobook is 16 hours though, but
Oh, that's not worth it to cure your anxiety.
I've heard it's really good though. Like I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, that's a fascinating subject, but let's do another review.
Okay, so this review is for Hellraiser, and it is titled,
Yeah.
Ugh, there's a Hellraiser in my soup. It's
How's
long.
that?
It's long, but I'm not going to cut any of it because it's just, I have
No, we gotta hear this.
Yeah. The scariest thing about Hellraiser isn't the part where Uncle Frank is ripped to pieces and turned into a jigsaw puzzle, but that a piece of crap like Hellraiser could be popular and even get a bunch of sequels. Hellraiser isn't scary in any real sense. It's not a movie that makes you twist and turn in bed. It doesn't make you think. It's just disgusting, like finding someone's hair in your food. You're not sure you want to finish it. I'll admit that some scenes are creepy, but it doesn't help when the rest of the movie is sadistic and perverted garbage. But the Cenobites are scary looking. Not really, but so what? If I wanted that, I could just make scary faces in the mirror and shout booga. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I have to make any faces. The movie also has a lot of sexual content. Why? I don't know, because people have sex in movies. It's real life. It's natural. You know what happens more often than sex? Toilet breaks. Yet we never see Bruce Wayne pull down his pants and place his butt on the rim of on the rim in any of the Batman movies. There are no graphic P scenes in The Wolfman. Like the gory violence, it's just pointless. It doesn't add anything to the plot. It's probably there to show how disgusting Uncle Frank is. Ew, look at Uncle Frank. He's so horny and skinless. There's which was gross. There's a hilarious scene where Uncle Frank, after having killed and skinned his brother, puts on the skin and impersonates him to fool the main character. I'm sorry, but it's impossible to take it seriously. It's like someone you would see in a very violent Bugs Bunny cartoon. The Cenobites aren't much better. Even back when I was a kid and saw pictures of Pinhead, I couldn't understand why he was supposed to be scary. In fact, all of the Cenobites look like members of a gay club who played with matches or toothpicks. Disgusting isn't the same thing as scary. There's a reason why we don't make horror movies about dog poop yet. The Stephen King quote can't be real. I have seen the future of horror, and his name is Clive Barker. If that's the case, Stephen King should consider eye surgery, and Clive Barker should get a facelift. It's probably something Stephen King mumbled in his sleep when he dozed off during the making of Maximum Overdrive. If you want real horror movies, just watch classics like Nosferatu, The Wolfman, BBC's Dracula miniseries from the 70s, Dead of Night, and the original The Thing. What's your pleasure, sir? Using the Hellraiser DVD as a frisbee.
Wow.
Oh my god.
This guy is a fool.
This person's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I really liked Hellraiser.
It's not scary, but it's like awesome, you know.
I appreciated the fact that it had basically zero plot and was just gross people fucking and murdering people.
I recently watched Hellraiser 2. That is a doozy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the doctor. That one's great. But okay, so he or she, we don't know, goes off on that tangent about how there's sex scenes in it, but they're not necessary. Like, how come we never see Bruce Wayne go to the bathroom? It's like, well, first of all, that's a critique of all movies, I guess. But also, more people want to see sex scenes. Just if I were to guess, if I had to make a guess, more people probably would like to see sex scenes than bathroom scenes. If you had a choice.
I mean, sex and horror basically go hand in hand. You know, it sounds like he has very highbrow taste in horror.
For sure. Movies. He named like
Nosferatu,
you know, the Wolfman.
I would prefer the original Thing to Carpenter's Thing.
I never saw the original The Thing, actually. But
it's old, you know. It's just kind of.
Why would I watch something old? That's so gross.
I mean, is he talking about the Thing from Another World from like the 50s?
No, I think he's
There's
talking
another thing that is from like the 50s, I think. Let
me see, because he did specify a date for one of his. No, Dead of Night, 1945.
But it sounds like he's just very like pompous of horror movies, you know.
Yes, I've seen Nosferatu.
Terrible taste.
I've seen Nosferatu recently, and it's like
boring, to be honest.
Yeah, Nosferatu is one of those movies. Like, there are some silent movies that I like a lot, but
what's the other one? God, what was that movie? God killed himself. Is that silent?
Oh my god!
What was that one?
Begotten. That's the character in Begotten.
Oh yeah, it's called Begotten. We all watched it.
Yeah,
that was so bad.
Yeah, the movie wasn't scary, but I truly felt like we were having a curse placed on us by watching it.
For sure.
It definitely
felt like The Ring, like we're just watching, you know, whatever's going to murder us 7 days later type of thing.
Well, we're still here.
It's for sure unnerving, I think, is the best way to describe it.
The point, really, of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
In fairness, I wanted to watch it too. It was on both of our lists.
I didn't dislike it. I was like,
I'm glad I watched it.
I couldn't look away from it, and parts of it were funny, like the first part where they're just like in a chair shitting themselves. I don't know. It was
Yeah, and then the woman.
Yeah, so
it
talk
just
about,
seems
full
like
circle.
sarcastic.
See, someone was shitting themselves. in movies.
yeah.
See,
He
it
should-
happens.
Yeah,
You should watch Begotten.
I'm sure he would love it.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what
He
year
probably
was
would.
this made?
Five
Golden.
stars.
Nosferatu, not scary. Interesting on a historical for like the history of film. But if you're gonna watch Nosferatu and then Hellraiser and tell me Nosferatu is a scarier movie, go fuck yourself.
But that's
Yeah.
how I feel about Videodrome, and y'all also don't like that.
That's totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
totally different.
We're very split about this.
Different.
That's not really
Because-
different. You guys are just incorrect about it.
No, if you like scary movies and you like gore, then there's no way you're not gonna like Hellraiser because it's just entertaining and it's just really gory and ridiculous.
And
But-
it's like psychological too. It's like,
Yeah, the scary shit about Hellraiser to me is not just like, oh, that lady with the freaking open wound on her neck or whatever. It's like the idea of accidentally unlocking some ancient mystery, or the idea of eternal torment. Like that's a pretty heavy theme in Hellraiser, is being tortured for eternity. That would scare the pants off of me if I got damned to hell
You have-
forever.
Hands, yeah.
and the body horror is amazing.
Absolutely.
It's not scary. It's just aesthetically pleasing. It just looks.
Yeah.
so cool.
But Videodrome was not any of those things.
It
Of
was
course it
all of those things.
I
You know the
totally
kind of body
understand.
horror in Videodrome.
Yeah, where he like has the gun in his stomach, whatever. But other than that, I mean, that part I was like, cool. I understand why you like it, Kaitlin, because you like movies that are like that. I'm
Long live the new flesh.
confused why it seems so well liked amongst a lot of.
It's for sure a cult classic, as is Hellraiser.
Yes. Talking about the bathroom thing. There was one time in one of my film classes where someone had like a 5-minute bathroom scene and even included the wiping part, and it was
In your film
so
class?
aw- Yeah.
Like you could see the
Or
gem-
like it was like
like,
I don't know. There was some scene in the restroom, and then eventually, like it kind of like cuts to him, like he's in the bathroom, and it's just like for way too long, and it's like cross dissolving, transition to like him wiping, and just like throwing away, and then wiping again, and then getting up, and it's like, okay, we don't, we're all just kind of looking at each other like, this is like, why is this scene here? What did this, and it's like a short film.
If they
And
had
so that
real
was
guts, they would have done it with a girl on her period.
That
See, that would have been art. Yeah.
I always have epiphanies in the bathroom. So
But no one enjoyed that scene. I think that's partly why, people don't want to see bathroom scene, full bathroom scenes.
Yeah, but if somebody had a short film that had a sex scene in it, people would be hooting and hollering and
Brown
carrying
mean,
on.
I would
Like,
think I
especially
would-
if they didn't have any skin, like in Hellraiser.
that would be hot.
Let me do a review here. This review is for a DJ company. Says, I should have gone with my gut instinct because he screwed up the day of my wedding. The contract stated he would put together a slideshow, which he didn't do. He played the CD that we provided him to make the slideshow, but he didn't even bother to rotate the pictures, and instead kept flipping the projector around at the reception as it was playing. He didn't even put a single picture of my husband either. It was embarrassing. He went on to tell one of our guests that we were the ones who didn't give him the right disc. He played our first dance during the slideshow. Then he failed to introduce our maid of honor, best man, and parents during the grand entrance. He played a random song for the garter toss, and as my husband was gesturing to him that he played a random song, he rudely told him on the mic, "I got this." He had us provide him with a 20-song list, which didn't even matter because he did not play one single song we requested. He played uncensored songs as well and repeated music throughout the night. He also played karaoke versions of songs, no words, only chorus.
Oh my
It
god.
was a crappy job. He was better off saying he wasn't prepared trying to fool us all. All our guests kept asking if this guy was drunk because he was so rude.
He was probably on coke. I mean,
I want to just pick this guy out and put on my own playlist. Like, these people are ridiculous.
it's funny though, because I mean, some of the stuff is bad. I mean, all of it's bad, but there are like two parts that if it were my wedding, I would probably think were so hilarious that I would like immediately get over it, which is him turning the projector.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and then also playing just karaoke versions of songs. Like, it's so ridiculous that I think like it would actually make the wedding better because it would be so fucking funny.
I for sure would not entrust to a DJ though to like put together a slideshow for me. Like, that's
Is
not
that part of what they do? Like,
Yeah, not typically. I mean,
your family's supposed to do that for you.
typically you would like have like if you're planning on doing a projector, it's like someone separate that you like would order from. But if it's like something that he offers and he's like fucking up, then yeah, that's and which based on the other reviews, that is something he offers because other people were like, oh, I asked him to do like a slideshow and bring his projector, and he did not. He said, oh, whoops, I forgot. So that's literally one of the other reviews. So this guy just seems like he fucking sucks.
God, I love this guy.
A ton of money.
Oh yeah, because and like that review was like, yeah, I paid him $900 and he fucking forgot this
God.
projector.
That's why you gotta go with the wedding singer, you know?
yeah,
I'm amazed this guy doesn't just get beat up at weddings.
honestly, yeah, that's crazy.
And him like grabbing the mic. I got this. Leave me alone. This is my job. This is a union job. You know.
Raul, you've probably been to more weddings than all of us. Have you ever been to a wedding where they had a live band or a live singer as opposed to a DJ?
I have, yeah. There's been quite a few, and that's I always enjoy that better. And usually the one that has like live band. Oh, you know what it is? It ends up being more. The music is more enjoyable, but less people dance. I think that's kind of generally what happens. It's a very weird thing, but
it doesn't seem as fun to me because I feel like on your wedding you want to hear all the hits and you want to dance and like. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely go hits. Like I would rather dance than enjoy music, but the music is typically very good. The one that I'm thinking of was very jazzy, and like this lady was just like a phenomenal singer and just doing all the jazzy stuff, and it was like awesome. But then it came where she was like, "Come on, everybody!" and just everybody was like, "No, fuck this."
It's not conducive to getting fucked up, and that's all I'm getting married for, and that's all I'm going to a wedding for.
The weddings.
The what?
Fuchs.
Oh, do they? That would be really fun, actually.
Yeah.
I would totally hire the Fuchs to do my wedding.
Listeners, the Fuchs is
very drunk.
is how would you describe it? An Irish band, I guess, like an Irish
band. They play lots of other popular songs, though,
But we'd usually listen to them play on the weekends at the Blarney Stone Pub, and definitely, one of my favorite live experiences, I guess.
You're still doing that currently? Going to the Blarney Stone on weekends?
Usually,
I mean, like pre-pandemic days. I don't mean it like recent.
I was a gotcha question. I'm sorry. You said we always go on weekends. I'm like, aha! I caught you, you son of a bitch.
We're living in the past, Jake.
Yes.
Oh, tell me about it.
Jake, do you have a last review for us?
Yeah, we got some. All right, let's do this one. This is a little bit long, but it's fun. Okay, this is for 1984. The book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the year.
Not the year. Not the David Bowie song. Orwell certainly takes an interesting approach to world building, assembling his villainous and tyrannical regime out of a loose conglomerate of things he doesn't like in his personal life. American capitalism, Soviet Russia, the Boy Scouts, and television all have themselves represented on the side of the party. Cue musical sting. And the story comes across like an old man shaking his fist at the sky and shouting every crazy conspiracy theory he's ever been fed. Televisions are listening devices for the government. The Boy Scouts are indoctrinating your children. I'm not racist. I just think that some people are biologically superior to others and therefore should be bred for the good of society. Sports are designed to keep the drooling masses complacent. Things were better in my day. Complementing that is Winston, our protagonist, and a self-insert so blatant that I half expected Orwell to just give up the charade and find a lazy excuse to mansplain his own personal manifesto.
Is this written by a girl?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Men often use mansplaining, though.
And he is using it so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Luckily, while Winston is busy waxing on about how much smarter he is than everyone else, page 122, we get to meet such interesting characters as Julia, Winston's much younger love interest, fails to at any point describe one physical characteristic she actually likes about him. It may shock you to learn this, but it turns out the reason she likes him is actually because, are you ready for it? He's so much smarter than everyone else and see through the lies of the party. Page 94. P.S. Spoiler alert, if you care. Just as a side note, I thoroughly enjoyed how instead of putting a camera or a bug into the upper room to spy on Winston and Julia, the Thought Police put an entire telescreen, something that's much bigger, harder to hide, and produces light and sound. Apparently, Orwell didn't know what a camera was and or thought that televisions really did function as both a speaker and a recorder, like two tin cans tied to the ends of a string. This guy hates this book.
Oh yeah, he is not a fan.
When did
It's
it?
not my favorite dystopian novel.
But it's like
No,
you know what it's about.
I read a really good tweet the other day. It's only loosely related. It might be too tangential, but it was like
we can cut it
everyone
out.
keeps calling the coronavirus vaccine like Orwellian, like 1984, and they're like, ironically, I guess Orwell died when he was 46 from it was like typhoid. It's something that we have a vaccine for now. I guess it is Orwellian.
Yeah. Yes, dying early from a preventable virus is Orwellian.
Yeah.
My favorite parts of this review, first of all, are the mansplain, just because. Okay, I don't want to consider myself an expert on this, but
I feel like you're mansplaining right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Mansplaining.
in my personal opinion, mansplaining is not anytime a man says something.
Do you think that if you replace "well, actually" with "in my personal opinion," that it makes it not mansplaining?
Yeah,
Kind of. I think it goes a long way.
Okay,
Do you disagree?
I was just asking.
Okay.
I do like that he has
wanted to-
several citations in his review.
Yeah, he gives specific page notes. He was probably reading it and like highlighting all the things he didn't like so he could bookmark it. It's like, boy, when I write my review, I'm gonna have a bibliography at the end of my review of this shitty book.
I also like how he doesn't think that something you can watch. When was it written, this review? Because on a laptop, you can watch something and something can record you. So that's not.
Yeah, I mean, TVs do that actually as well. A lot of them
I
have.
vaguely remember 1984 because I read it in high school, but I think they all had like screens.
Yeah, there's a
Like
screen in like every room.
That's like how they did it.
Yeah.
And
And it's also it's a fucking sci-fi novel that like the technology is a part of the fiction.
I'm surprised he's not mad that 2 + 2 = 5.
Yeah. That was a big plot hole. That's not right. And why does he love Big Brother at the end? He just spent the whole book saying how much he hated the guy. And then at the end, all of a sudden he loves him. This just does not hang together as a book.
I just get really annoyed when people know what something is about and know that it's something that they're not going to like and then read it anyway. Like,
yeah.
He's upset about
Kaitlin.
Dune.
I didn't want to read it, but I didn't want to be left out, y'all.
Well, you're not because nobody read it.
Nobody read it. So we.
Yeah, Ricky read like the second one.
Yeah, he's really in.
If I could finish it by October, maybe.
Yeah,
when the movie comes out. Yeah, you probably have time.
Every time we discuss it, I feel like I always have to preface it by saying, like, I actually do enjoy it. I just cannot bring myself to want to read it.
Same.
It's just
Same.
not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only type of books that I can really read anymore are short story collections, because that's the only book I've finished in the last year or so.
Oh, I can maybe read like a magazine or like a BuzzFeed article or maybe like a headline.
What kind of cheesecake?
See, this is why I do comic books. Listen, there's a visual to it.
Really like graphic novels, honestly. Like I used to read those when I worked at the call center a lot.
I've never read a graphic novel.
You would probably really like it. I mean,
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear Sandman is good.
I
I
love
do
Sandman.
love
Oh, I
Sandman,
forget
yeah.
about
And
Oh.
they're doing a movie for pretty soon, right?
I thought it was like a Showtime show or something.
Oh, I think you might be right.
Just to circle back to the review real quick. At the very beginning, he says that he takes an interest in the world. Okay, so he builds a villainous and tyrannical regime out of a loose conglomeration of things he doesn't like in his personal life, like American capitalism and Soviet Russia.
that. Yeah, it's like
You never heard of inspiration or
Well,
like
Just like I don't feel like anyone has a one-on-one personal relationship with Soviet Russia.
wasn't one of the
That's-
other ones the Boy Scouts?
The Boy Scouts and television. Like,
The Boy Scouts have turned out to be real bad.
yeah, he was right. He's got it nailed on that.
They let girls in now, though.
Huh?
They let girls into the Boy Scouts now, though.
Well,
Right?
yeah, the Boy Scouts, there's like all these
Rape.
accusations about rape and stuff now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if you have any, they should have known, is all I'm saying.
Men.
Jake.
No. What? I was a Boy Scout when I was younger. That's true.
Oh my God, you would be.
Jake, so
The
there
dog
is this
really got
book on Audible called The Body Keeps the Score. And so if you don't remember something, but you have physical reactions to stuff that you can't explain,
I think I'm good, actually. I don't think anything happened. It was just kind of boring, to be honest. I didn't even learn how to tie any good knots.
I felt like Girl Scouts were really boring too. I was only in it for like a week. We made soap. I was like, who the fuck wants to do this with their time?
like a lot of people sell homemade soap on fucking Etsy for a
Etsy,
lot of
yeah.
money. So maybe you should have gone
You
long.
fucked up, Caitlin.
Yeah,
You could have been a
dumbass.
millionaire.
Damn it. It
Um,
wasn't a handmade soap though. It was like antibacterial soap.
well, you would be a millionaire right now.
Yeah,
made
has
a
there
lot
ever
of-
been a better time?
Raul, did you do Boy Scouts?
I did not do Boy Scouts.
I didn't do Girl Scouts either.
Yeah, I mean, I can never tell how I feel about like camping. Like sometimes I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but then other times I'm like, that sounds awful. You know, I
like
think as a
Wi-
kid, I would have been down.
Like I need
You-
Wi-Fi,
you-
you know?
She's legitimately having so much. So we're going to Joshua Tree this next Monday. So she's having such bad anxiety, like legitimately, because there's no TV in this Airbnb. And she's like, does anybody have a TV that we can bring? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, we have that small one in our kitchen, which I don't know. She just never you never really responded to that. Like, I don't know if you were like rejecting that idea or it was like too small or something. And then as if we're going to bring like a large fucking TV to Joshua Tree. But then I'm like, you have a laptop. You could set it up like it's decently sized. You could watch it on that. But then she reads everything about the Airbnb, right? Like you need to bring extra toilet paper and like you need to bring wood to like heat the stove. But in the thing, it says, disclaimer, brand new, we have a TV with Roku and like blah 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 blah. It's like
It just changed it though. It said specifically we don't have a TV before. And we were also allowed to bring 6 people before, and now we're apparently only allowed to bring 4, but whatever, I don't care.
Well, the place sleeps like 12 people, so they can
Yeah,
chill out with.
I was surprised by that. But legitimately they didn't have a TV at first. And I was just thinking every time we hang out, we all watch TV and we have so much fun. And like, you know,
We bond over TV. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I would rather have like a TV there if that's possible, but it's also like, yeah, then I'll just bring my laptop. We'll be fine.
well,
you
we
know?
have one now, so fear not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still bringing my laptop so I can separately watch TV.
I'm
From-
also with my laptop.
Are we all just going to be in rooms watching TV? We should have a Netflix party separately.
Oh, 100%. That is what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to start wrapping up here. Kaitlin, is there anything you want to plug or anything? Like maybe your Instagram handle?
Oh yeah.
Your
follow
business?
me,
Or your
at
business? Yeah.
Humper69.
Dolphin
And
Number 69. It cut you off. Sorry.
Dolphin Humper69. I also have a vintage account called Agua Viva.
And
so-
she sells vintage clothes and products and things on there. It's like really cool stuff. You guys should check it out.
yeah, follow me.
Follow Kaitlin there. You can follow the podcast on Instagram, Zero If I Could Podcast, all one word. And you can follow me personally at Raul Zambrano 619 or Raul Z Comedy. Actually, I don't know why I thought that was. You can follow me on Instagram at Raul Z Comedy. That's my Venmo. I just realized you can Venmo me as well if you want. Yeah, Venmo me Raul Zambrano 619. $30 would be great, I guess. You know, if I had to pick a number, that's cheap enough. Brittany, where can they find you?
They can follow me at BitchNeyH, or you can follow my dog at Ender_wagon.
My God.
Wagon, WAGGIN.
He's very
His
cute.
last name is Wagon.
Well, no, because so he's named after Ender from Ender's Game. Ender in the book is Ender Wiggin. And if you had to try and think of some fucking dog pun with Ender's Game, like, I don't know, man, I couldn't think of anything. And the closest thing I could think of that even resembled anything to do with the dog that wasn't like even more stupid than Ender Wagon was Ender Wagon. So that's what it is.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
Brittany has a lot of strong feelings about this.
Yeah.
He has a lot
Yeah, I
of
was prepared to make fun, but then I saw how defensive you were. Now
He
I
does
love
have
it.
a lot of followers. He has about 730 at this point in time.
Pretty good.
Mhm.
Jay, anything you want to plug before we sign off?
Yeah, just leave me alone.
Fair enough.
Like us as well.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys the next time we need to record an episode, but do not speak to me until then.
Okay.
All right. That's been our episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and thank you to Kaitlin for joining us today
From
That's-
heaven.
from heaven.
Yeah.
That's been our show. Thank you so much. Goodbye.